Gavin Smith beat Monbay and Prince Fearless. Victory, the Orange Agent. She is a ribbon and a tearing in the Orange Agent Super. He went past Follow the Stars again, hugged the wind into a place, and it's the All Stars to trifecta the last again.
Well, doesn't it stir the emotions there? We're only 7 weeks out from the 10th running of the Harness Duels, of course, at Cambridge. So over the next 3 weeks, we'll have a look at each age group, if you like, and we're going to kick that off with the 3-year-old section. Next week, the 4-year-old, and then the 2-year-old. So we'll have a look at the Diamond and where things sit in terms of the leaderboards. Golden Goddess up the top of Piccadilly Princess, of course, doesn't include her win in the Vic Oaks last week, but pretty impressive lineup. But there's one anomaly there, Michael.
Yes, there is. No money so far for Dream About Me because all the racing has been in Australia. That'll change very quickly. As you said, starts next Friday night at Eddington, and that meeting that clashes with Auckland. I'm still not how sure I feel about that, boys. But look, she's going to have plenty of chances to win the money. Nibley our final, presumably, and the Oaks. If you open to market, and I still struggle with the fact the markets aren't open. They should be. It's only my opinion, but they should be. Dream About Me would be favourites.
So let's just hone back in on that, though. The reason they're not open is because the Aussie invites, which we'll get to in a moment, haven't been invited. But surely we could have any Aussie invite and just have it at $3 or something like that.
You are right. I'm not going to argue with you, Gregory.
Yeah,
the market should be open. Oh, well. Let's not get into it.
All right, let's have a look at a Piccadilly Princess winning the Oaks, Craig. This is when she almost went past Golden Goddess in many ways. Obviously, she did in the straight, but she did in many people's opinions as well.
And she's gone on, obviously, with that form. On the top 12 at the moment, Mackenzie's made her way into the top 12, Greg. I think that this is the time of the year that the punters and the viewers will sit back and look at the horses that are on the cusp. And we showed the top 12, we didn't show the ones that are underneath that. They need dollars in the next 4 weeks because they're not going to wait till the last minute to head to the Jewels at Cambridge. These horses in the Deep South like Raka Razor that are sitting around about 15th at the moment, they need to get dollars and they're going to go around this weekend. So I hint people to get onto HRNZ, get on that leaderboard, have a look at the moment. Raka Razor goes around on Sunday afternoon, the last race. It's not that far off the top 12.
Does this excite you in terms of a punting perspective? It does. Do you
I do. I get really into it because I think it's... people sit back and they worry about our game. Are horses really that forward to go into a race? Are they that keen on it? At this time of the year, they are. We highlighted on Thursday Alderbeck as one that needed to win on Sunday to get into the top 12. She did that. She's into 8th at the moment. Raka Razor's in the same category. We'll highlight others as the weeks progress.
For me, this is one division where if I had a horse who qualified about 8th or 9th, I wouldn't go. That's a horrible thing to say. I've had a horse who started in the Jewels, I've had a couple actually, and they couldn't win, but they weren't scary divisions. This is an incredibly scary division. Dream About Me, Golden Goddess, and Piccadilly Princess. Neck time, effectively a good filly's running for 5th or 6th. I'd stay home and get in the paddock and spell earlier. I know this is a terrible thing to say, but it's just true because you're not going to win this division.
Yep, particularly at Cambridge. But anyway, we'll talk about that as we build into it. Let's have a look at the Emerald. And of course, Lazarus, well, he won't be there. Now, hopefully this might prompt Mark and Natalie to withdraw the ones that aren't going to be, but he's already in the paddock, we know that for sure. And Chase the Dream, Michael, it's got the export there, but obviously he'll be back very shortly.
Yeah, just to explain that to people, once a horse leaves the country, as Chase the Dream has done, he has to be listed as exported. He is obviously, from Mark's comments, coming back for the race, so that makes sense. Now, the big news about this category is this morning, Harness Racing New Zealand met to discuss whether Waikiki Beach could be invited as the Australian representative. Clearly, he has not raced in New Zealand this season, but would be favourite if he was invited. They have decided not to invite him. I agree with that. I think it's a bad precedent, Craig, if they do invite a horse who hasn't raced here when he's had the chance to race here. You boys happy with that decision?
Yeah, look, I am, Craig, because he could have started in the Northern Derby. He was in and out of the New Zealand Derby. He could even start at Eddington over the next two premiers to enhance
Well, they
his
threw the
chances.
dice in it. They asked a question and they got the answer they didn't want to hear. But I mean, a 3-year-old, he couldn't go everywhere. So they had to have time off. They've done that. What it does means we won't see him here.
No,
we
well,
won't.
what does happen is, as of today, here in this first in the box seat, he's a Bromac, New Zealand bred horse, trained by Kevin Pizzuto in Sydney. Kevin's a very aggressive horseman. He has been invited and has accepted the invite to wear the Harness Jewels colours. There you go.
Are we needing these then, Michael?
He'll need the green ones. The green ones are the Australian
right.
ones. They're the
So
leaders board.
these
Yeah,
are-
something similar. Yeah, Greg gets his own set because he's so important. But
We don't need them, by the way.
He's a Bromac who's been scooting around Menangle 151 and change. He'll be coming to the Jewels. So he's the second invite. Smart horse. And he's going to need to be a smart horse, but no less, no Waikiki Beach. He'll add to the Jewels. Super aggressive. Todd McCarthy comes across to drive him. He's the second invite alongside Arms of an Angel, who was the only confirmed invite so far.
Just on those, I'll highlight horses that are again on the cusp of going around this weekend for the viewers that wanted to know. Torrid Bromac, 17th, races Thursday night. Galactic Star on the weekend, 24th. Ideal World, 25th. Now, the reason I say that, because Ideal World at $20,000 is only around about $8,000 off the top 10. $20,000 race Friday night. Bang, wins that. He's inside the top 12.
Yep.
Interesting market, boys. I mean, Classy Brigade may be favourite, maybe Chase the Dream, but not a natural miler, one would say, but also make a case for Heaven Rocks, and even He's a Bromac comes into play. This is very much a market in flux.
I agree with Michael on southern horses. They may not come here, but when you're on your back door, like Ideal World is, $5,000 for going round, you've got to have a crack.
You'll be there. Let's have a look at the Ruby. The Trotters should be a terrific contest, as it's going to be at Alexandra Park the next couple of weeks. More on that shortly. Markula won the Derby. We'll have a look at that, and he was fantastic doing that. Wilma's mate, well, she's going to be in it. She had no luck in that Derby. You've got the likes of Conan Bridge, of course, the super
Lamond, who's a
two-year-old.
nice horse.
Lamond, Alderbeck, who won on Sunday. Blazing Under Fire, who's in at Alexandra Park on Friday night, of course. But Markula leads this section, and this is why, Michael Guerin, because he
He's
was
the top
outstanding.
dog. He's the top dog at the moment, absolutely no doubts. I'm not sure he could come from the second line over a mile at Cambridge and beat all these horses if they posse up on the marker pegs, fellas. But, gee, this is a deep bunch. The Trotters have grown so much over the years, and look, you put Highgate or Conan Bridge or
Wilma's
a whole
mate.
bunch of other horses at barrier 1 or 2, Wilma's mate, this changes completely. This is one I don't want to bet into, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it all matures over the next couple of weeks. Most of these clash this Friday night.
Yep, they do, and plenty to look forward to in terms of the upcoming weeks and the build-up towards the Harness Jewels. But let's concentrate on the Aussie invites thus far, Michael. Arms of an Angel. Yeah, she's obviously been very, very good this season and was outstanding in the Miracle Mile, and she trialled.
So much has happened in the last 2 months, you sort of forget little old Arms of an Angel from New Zealand, who left here as a 2-win horse, has gone across there and set up a 147.5 Miracle Mile. I mean, this is the Miracle Mile. Here she is in front. The horses who beat her are Lily the Shark and Have Faith in Me. And she's racing in the 4-year-old mares division, which has been shorn of the Orange Agent, Start Dreaming, and of course, Fight for Glory. She shouldn't just turn up to the Jewels and be favourite. She should win. If she draws the front line in the Jewels and produces her best, they won't see which way she goes. Trialled yesterday at Menangle, 154, which is just a jog for her. 53 for the last 800 metres, fellas. It's hard to fathom. It's the same horse. I know it takes a lot to get your head around this sort of stuff, but unless something happens that makes her lose form in the next 7, 8 weeks, she'll be the first Australian to win a Harness Jewels.
All right, Reina Dan Zonte.
Daughter of La Cucaracha.
Yeah, La Cucaracha, of course, won a Rowe Cup. She also won the Breeders' Filly section, didn't she?
Yeah, look, the Breeders' Crown last year was split for the first time. 3-year-olds became colts and fillies, so it's quite a weak division, but she's really good. Trained by Nicole Melander, of course, former Cantabrian, then a North Islander, went to New South Wales. Here's Reina Danzante, went to Melton 2 weeks ago. First run, so needed the outing, beat a pretty decent horse here. Races Thursday night at the Rat, Ballarat, so she'll go there. I think she's likely to get the invite, and she's pretty darn good. The problem with the 4-year-old division is it's not based on sex, so waiting for her, if she comes, Monbay and Speeding Spur.
Yeah.
So not easy, but agreed, it's a small flight, Getting to Auckland's a lot easier than getting to Ashburton because you stay at Auckland, go down to Cambridge for the duel. So I think it's a good chance of coming.
Can I ask you a question on that? I mean, I don't know the form about her, but I mean, if we're talking about horses don't want to travel from the bottom of the South Island to race our good ones, surely the two best trotters in Australasia at the moment are Mombay and Speeding Spur. Why would you come?
Well, I spoke to Greg Hope at length yesterday. He said if things go well the next 2 weeks, Mombay is likely to go to the paddock. So all of a sudden there's one.
Right.
You know, so you
One
start
pretty good
thinking
one.
if I draw, exactly, Speeding Spur is better than Rainer Danzante, but you know, it's so easy to think we'll plan to avoid these horses, but if you plan to avoid those 4-year-old mares, most of them have been retired.
Yeah,
If you plan, or injured, you plan to avoid Huey Green, who I called Huey Grant before, and have faith in me, now they're gone. So I suppose some people think, well, if we've got a horse, let's roll the dice.
Yep, and she's won 7 from 9 and 2 Group 1s. We know this horse, My Kiwi Mate. Not surprisingly, he's formerly from New Zealand, and he's been in good form this time, and although he didn't win by much here, Michael.
No, look, he did. The time was good. I thought he was only average in winning this. Look, we're going to get a better view of him. Now, he's got 2 strings to his bow. He could be the invite to the 4-year-old boys, or he races, of course, in the Taylor Mile this Friday night, and the Messenger the week after. Craig, if he wins enough money there, he'll qualify on his own accord.
He'll need 30,000 at this stage to qualify for the Jewels.
So he'll need to be good then.
Yeah, Tasman Bromac's 12th at 29. Placing in the Taylor Mile and the Messenger.
We've seen this happen before.
We did. I think Mustang Mac.
Yep, that's right.
So it can happen, and it's a weaker grade. He's come here with the loss of our good 4-year-olds at the moment, so he'll get his chance this week at Auckland. What he hasn't got is a great draw this week.
The other one who's in the mix for that is Tack Tate, who beat It's Better to Win in the Bonanza at
And
Nelson.
finished
See,
third
I would
in the-
like to see him here because of his speed.
Very high gate
He's
speed.
a real miler.
He's in the mix now. Nathan Jack, who trains him, is going to watch the next 2 weeks at Alexandra Park and then make his decision on the back of that.
Yep, all right. We've got a couple of trials we need to review for you from Eddington on Monday. Significant trials. Here's Chris and me, guys, and great to have him back. He got home in 56 and 27.4 here, Craig, and had a couple of smarties just behind him.
227 he went, and of course he beats Golden Goddess and Dream About Me here. So it was a nice trial to be in. Of course, we saw him the week before in that wet conditions at Ashburton in that 3-horse trial. He's obviously gone on with that, and he'll head to Rangiora on Sunday.
Yep, and the other one we want to have a look is Lockerburn, and he also is heading to the Rangiora Classic, and the big bloke sitting alongside them here.
Yeah, look, I had to talk to Cran about this after these trials, and Cran said, look, we can go to the Rangiora Classic and go super and get beat because it's a really small but deep field, and he's up against a horse who won the Easter Cup 2 starts ago. It's going to be great to see Chris and me back. We'll talk more about that over the next couple of days.
3rd horse home in that trial,
Waikiki
Beach. So good to have him back on the track, and other winners on the day, more the better. He was back winning a trial on Tuesday.
You're just with Chris and me, be a little bit careful this week. He's an older horse, up against very fit horses, and there's a lot of hard runners in that field.
Yeah,
are you going to Rangiora on Sunday?
I'll be there. He's a rising 8-year-old. I'm looking forward to seeing him again in the flesh. We're going to take a short break here on your box seat. When we come back, we'll preview this massive night at Alexandra Park. There'll be 3 Group 1s there.